authority is why I like them so much. A caveat emptor, whenever anyone on YouTube tries to speak candidly about a company that they have any kind of affiliation or association with, they're inevitably met by a barrage of skepticism in regards to the transparency and legitimacy of their words. And honestly, I totally get it. So it is entirely your prerogative should you choose to disregard everything I'm about to say. But what I would highlight is that when it comes to relationship with brands or companies, is that it is very important that it's a two-way street. If you're jumping into bed with a company or looking to endorse a product because you feel like it'll equate to free gear or it might be a lucrative relationship, it will honestly end in tears. And as such, I've always been very keen to highlight that my relationship with Yamaha flourished entirely as a consequence of my love of the Revstar. Came across them in PMT, a music shop in Cardiff, when they were released back in, I think, 2015, and honestly just fell in love with them. I tried quite a few in the shop at the time, and kind of thinking back to my thoughts and feelings in that moment, the first thing I noticed was the neck guard. I thought it was incredibly comfortable and kind of familiar in a strange way, but at the same time I thought the ergonomics of the design were incredibly intuitive. It was very simple and very straightforward to play. Couple that with the stock P90s sounding very, very good. I'm not someone that's easily impressed either when it comes to P90s, as someone that's kind of been burdened with knowledge and experience of some very cool, very old 1950s Gibsons. I'm a little bit difficult to please in that respect. But honestly, above anything else, I thought it just looked very cool. We're kidding ourselves, honestly, if we say that the aesthetics of a guitar don't play an incredibly important part when it comes to our initial response to an instrument. It might have been the best guitar in the world, but if it hadn't looked cool, I never would have found out because I probably wouldn't have picked it up in the first place. Aside from just looking cool, I thought it was actually quite interesting to see a brand new guitar whose inspiration wasn't derived from one of the classic shapes. It wasn't obviously influenced by a Strat or a Tele or a Les Paul or any of those kind of classic influences when it comes to new guitar designs. Like, at the same time, it undoubtedly had echoes of Yamaha's own guitar heritage. Whether it's the SG series, I've got an old SG 2000 I've talked about and used on the channel in the past, which I absolutely love, or I guess more specifically the Superfly as well from the 70s, which is very much where the Revstar's rough shape has come from. It was just a very interesting, very new guitar that really piqued my interest. And as such, my relationship with Yamaha flourished as a consequence, as opposed to the other way round. I've read lots of comments over the years in regards to the Revstars that I've used have only ever been custom models or upgraded in some way, shape or form. But again, I think it's important to highlight that undoubtedly the Revstar that I played the most before Yamaha were kind enough to build in my custom shop was an entirely stock Indonesian-made Black RS 502. They don't make them anymore, but at the time this would have set you back about £500, give or take, so not really an expensive guitar in any respect, and it's one that still serves as the backup guitar for my Gold Top. It's just a staggeringly good instrument, honestly. It's resonant, it has a voice of its own, and has played an incredibly important part in my guitar rig for the last few years.